Okay, beautiful morning to you. Hello, how are you? What is happening to you? How are you doing this morning? I hope you're doing great. It's another beautiful morning today, Tuesday, the 13th day in the month of May, and to the glory of God, we're here. And we thank God that you're watching us wherever you're joining us from right now, whether on Facebook, on your YouTube, live, and maybe on Star Times or AVO application or OPREM application, on your terrestrial page as well. Yeah, that one doesn't have any subscription. Just join us and we're good to go. So how are you doing? This is like the television the program is family and values. It's all about the values that you believe in. And we also need to remind ourselves. We need to continue to be an advocate of those values that some of us left, some of us decided not to hold on to. Some of us believe they are too old. They are primitive. And so we don't really need them. Time don't pass. No. We just need to inculcate them to the dispensation, the civilization that has come our way. We need to inculcate them into it. We need to bring them life to it. Because it actually goes a long way to help us, especially to channel the value into our children. Because when you are not here, they'll remember you. They will always hold on to it. It will guide them, just like the word of God will always guide us into the truth. These values will always guide each and every one of our young ones into the truth that they need to know. Okay? So that is what Family and Value is all about. It comes on your airway from Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. And it's always interesting. Today is another beautiful Tuesday with a difference. And this difference is coming with another beautiful guest that will be joining us in the course of the program. But my name, as you know, and as many who don't know or yet to know, is Olori Adejoke Adebi David. My friends call me Olori AJ. So that David doesn't have the S. So many would say Davis. No, Adebi David as a singular. So and my friends call me Olori AJ. So you're welcome to the show. You can always be my friend on Olori Alajoke or Olori Adejoke Adebi David on Facebook. And I'm not here alone, as you know. Some people don't chop, they don't forget, see. You don't worry. Let me just come back to that later.
It's a good thing. Everybody knows that I love food, and I'm glad to know that I love food.
And the way she go pack her, go think say she no like food. I know say she be foodie.
I love food. But I don't eat, but I love food.
They want change
Good morning and welcome to the show. It's a Tuesday with a difference here on Family and Values. And we're reaching out for the stars. Yes, you can catch us on our Facebook page and our YouTube page. Download the Galaxy mobile app so that you can watch us on the go. Shout out to our Star Times family. I am Princess Joy Enyo Abu. My name, my heritage. Don't worry, on Friday, I'll give you my other Islamic. We use it only on Fridays to celebrate with our Islamic friends. And yes, it's Tuesday. Today's topic, you don't want to miss it. Tell somebody to tell another, but it's time for Family and Values. Those beautiful ladies are on your screen this morning. So come join us on the show this morning and let's have a smooth ride.
Okay, as we have the smooth ride, I need to, I have decided I'll be coming in after our shout outs and everything. Do you have any shout outs?
No, I don't have any shout outs.
Okay, a big shout out goes to all the people celebrating today. A beautiful elder in my church, Elder Evelyn Omori. Happy birthday to you as you had another year today. And also celebrating wonderful people. Wale Honorable Dr. Alaji Honorable Dr. Wale Ayola. I call him Rashid because one of my uncle is named Rashid. Happy birthday to you. Yesterday was your birthday. I missed it. I'm so sorry about that. So happy birthday to you. I don't know how to put it now, but you know yourself. So happy birthday to you. And to many people who are celebrating today, wish you the very best of today. And many anniversaries to those who are having one anniversary regarding their marriage, their relationship, all the good things around you. Happy anniversary to you. Okay, now, when it comes to those words, one thing I want to charge us with this morning is what you want do exist. What you want exists. But all you just need to do is don't settle until you get it. What you want exists. Don't settle down for less, and don't be at peace until it gets into your hand. I'm not saying you should not check your blood pressure or run into trouble when no. Just keep on seeking, keep on asking, keep on searching until you get it, because that thing you desire, that thing you want, surely is there, but you just need to work for it. You need to move, you need to act on it so that it can actually get into your hands. I wish you the very best of today as we go for our mini feature. And we'll unveil our topic. And our guest is right here, waiting to join us. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. And this morning, when I unveiled the topic yesterday, they were like, I don't understand. Is it this way? Is it that way? But we're focusing on a very beautiful way this morning. And I'm sure our guest is ready to deliver and to go on this discuss with us this morning. And our topic this morning is shielding kids from marital conflicts, challenges, problems. How do we shield our kids from knowing that there is a rumble somewhere between the husband and the wife, the mommy and daddy? Or sometimes, I've watched so many movies that foreign movies, when the police comes in, you treat the parents in the presence of the kids anyhow. Even if you are there, they are still a suspect, or you're coming to arrest them for one thing or the other. But Niger, yeah, that kind of thing. And also, when husband and wife have issues, the way they will present in the presence of the children, some will try to guide and say, but some will you don't know, let them know the kind of husband or the kind of wife you are, that you're not a responsible woman, you're not a responsible man, that kind of thing. So this morning we have the father of the father to the children. Oluremi Lawal. I call him RL. Okay, he's a minister of the word, but it's better he deals with us. Let us talk with this thing. He's a parenting coach and he's a writer and an author. We have Remi Lawal joining us from Ibadan. So please, let's do this thing. Let's do a warm welcome to our darling Oluremi Lawal. He's not my Ibadan. He's settled in Ibadan. He's doing business in Ibadan. So, Remi Lawal, you're so much welcome. It's so good to see you laughing already. Yeah, so good to see you. I got it. What you are touching him about you? What in Ibadan lewa? So, it is for you. Àwọn ará Ìbàdàn kan ṣe dáadáa ni.
Àlàáfíà ni gbogbo àwa.
Ó parí. Ṣé wà pa?
Good morning, Olori. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning,
Thank you so much for joining us. And I know, when you mentioned this while we were discussing the last time you were on the show, I quickly wrote it down. I said, you are coming back. I wrote menu, but this one, you'll be the one to deal with it because you have a way of presenting this to the parents constructively and not to make them feel like they are irresponsible. And because you're a parenting coach, you are the best person who can help us parents and our viewers at home to know how to present this when they have issues. Now, how can parents shield children from conflicts in the home? When there is trouble, when there's misunderstanding, arguments, and the children are there. How can parents shield them? How can they, help them not to be part of it or even sense things like this happen? Then is it right? Because some will why are you hiding it from them? Let them know. So please help us. This two-way question. Help us, please. Welcome once
All right.
again.
All right. Good morning. Good morning, beautiful ladies, and good morning to our viewers. This is a very sensitive topic that is neither here nor there. So when you try to stand in between, you'll be like, okay, so which one is most favorable, as it were? All right, you just said now, is it okay to shield them from our conflicts? If you ask me as Remy Lawal, I do not think that it is right to shield our children from our conflict, but we must shield them from our crisis. We need to understand the difference between both of them. We must shield our children from our crisis, not our conflicts. Conflicts are necessary in every relationship, including marital relationships. Conflicts are unavoidable, but what you must strive hard to avoid is the conflict metamorphosing into crisis, and that's what you shield your children from. You see, a lot of us tend to want to pretend, and we are giving children false hope of what marriage is not. Marriage is not peaceful because there are no conflicts. Marriage is actually peaceful because we both learned and mastered how to navigate our conflicts, which is the essence of conflict resolution. So that's my first answer to that. As regards shielding our children, you see, there are too many things that you can read online, offline, here and there, that pertains to, children, family, and their marriage. Fantastic, but there are too many things that we all do not pay close attention to. I'll bring up the story of Samson this morning. Samson is a fantastic young man that when we want to preach sex, okay, sexual immorality, that's the first person we all are quick to mention. But I can say to you today that when Samson was born, he was actually not born for sexual immorality. He was not born with sexual immorality. Sexual immorality was a coping mechanism for him, and he was coping with the absence of his parents who didn't know what he was going through. So the home was not providing the kind of succor that Samson wanted. So Samson wanted anything else but his home, and which is the position where over 60% of the people who get married find themselves. They want anywhere else but the home where they are born. I don't know if you got that. So about 60 something percent of the people who get married didn't get married because they actually want to. Yes, it's a desire, but for some, it's an escape from what they do not desire. Rather than stay in this place, I think I'd rather pick somewhere else. And now here is it. When you are being chased, the only thing you know is what is chasing you. The next thing you don't know is what you're running into. So, which is how a lot of us run into bad marriages. So, as for Samson's parents, theirs was a lovely union between the couples, but they ignored their son. They didn't pay attention to what he was going through. And yet, all he was looking for was somebody who would show him acceptance. They loved him, but he was not feeling the acceptance. And like I would always say, there are three key things that matter to us as human beings, which is also the bedrock for marital decision: acceptance, affection, and attention. Three things we search for in marriage. So, how do you set your children up for marital challenges? Number one is, if in a home you do not pay close attention to the lives of your children and their basic needs. And here, basic needs now, we're not talking about clothing, feeding, and education, or shelter, as it were. We're talking about their personal needs. A lot of us parents do not know that. just like the parents of Jesus and Samson didn't know what their children wanted. That's the first step into setting our children up for marital challenges. I make that my opening speech.
Beautiful, Joy.
Thank you so much. So now I want to ask, how much is too much to expose to children in marriage? We talked about it's good to expose them to the conflict, but not to the crisis. Now some parents don't know when to draw the line. They just bring everything. But how much? We had a guest that once said, when you make your children your best friend, you tend to tell them everything that happens to you in the marriage. In a bid to prepare them, you say too much, even to the younger ones that don't have the idea of what you're talking about, automatically making them become adults faster. So how much is too much to expose to a child in marriage that is growing up and is seeing what is happening around? Some children are seeing it, it's glaring, and they are asking questions and they want to know, they need explanation.
Okay, how much is too much? Varies. There can never be a one size fit it all for this. So what is too much for my child may not be enough for another person's child. So how much is too much is not something you can standardize. So it depends on the children that are involved. So you deal with everybody based on their level of understanding. Now here it is. What is the emotional state of your child or children? Are they children who take sides? There are children, because every single one of us on earth, we have favorites. So if your children have picked a favorite, it will determine what you tell them. Take, for instance, in my home, if I realize that my son has taken the side of my wife, it will determine what I tell him. So I would be wanting to win his interest also to my own side. So too many times, if I am not an emotionally intelligent person, I'll be telling him skewed part of the issues that are happening between his mom and I. And that's not intelligent enough. So how much is too much will depend on the child involved. So if you're dealing with an intelligent child, you should know how much is enough. And then also, you as a person, do not forget that what you're having with your partner is just a misunderstanding that does not define your partner's personality. So the fact that we are having issues does not mean I'm going to go to the child and begin to talk down on you or talk bad about you. No, I should be able to state it. Okay, this is what happened. Your mommy and I, we couldn't agree on how much to spend on the car. Your mommy wanted this particular brand and I want this particular brand. Even though I've not been able to state my reasons, I didn't even ask her reasons. There was no need for the shouting. Now, hear me, I have balanced it. So the child understands that our shouting or disagreement is actually based on the fact that we failed to hear each other out. We were only fighting on interest, which, for all you care, might be okay for both of us, But then we need to strike an agreement. So how much is enough? Like I said, cannot be standardized to say this is how much that is enough for child A from family B, and this is what will be good for child C from family Z. No, it can't be standardized. It depends on the emotional state of each child, the intelligence of each child, and the emotional intelligence of the parent who is expressing it. If I've answered your question. And also, may I say that this, as a feedback, Joy's mic is a bit low.
Okay, I thought you were trying to round up on that question.
Oh, yes, I have.
Okay, so it's time for us to go for our breakfast break. Now, Remy, unfortunately, you're not here in Lagos. I would have, but we can always do something. You're in Ibadan, right? We can get you your own breakfast. So, courtesy item 7, we're sending you your own breakfast this morning. All you just need to do is to send me your address in Ibadan. Okay? Send it to me and I will get your breakfast across to you this morning. so that it will be well delivered, hot, steaming hot, you know. Party jollof rice. It's time for us to
you.
go for
Thank you so
our
much, Item
word
7.
on
An
marble
amazing
and
place,
take
an
our
amazing place to
breakfast,
get
because
your
our
food.
breakfast is going to come in. So I don't want it to feel like, you people are sidelining me. So your own is coming, you know, get it. This morning, I promise you
Thank
that by the grace of the Almighty God, it will get to you this morning. So let's go for our word on marble, and
thank you.
our breakfast will be delivered to us, and we'll come back after this. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so we're back to our own Oluremi Lawal. Remy, are you still there? Remy is joining us live from Ibadan. Ilé Olúyọ̀lé níbi tó yàrá ìgbésẹ̀ jẹ́ máa ń bẹ̀. Ilé Olúyọ̀lé from Ibadan. Okay, so Remy, I want to ask, how can we rebuild our trust with our children when we allow them to go, they see this crisis, they experience this crisis? How do we bring back that trust after they've witnessed a crisis between father and mother? How do we bring this trust back to them and align, you know, let them understand what really happened and all that? What do we do?
All right, you don't have to do much. You just have to work on yourself as couples. Children will get to a point where they are like, don't mind mommy and daddy, Jare. In fact, me, I got tired. I'm sure one of you would have experienced it when you took side with one of your parents and then you came back only to realize that they've resolved the conflict and now you be in the middle. So once your children see that this is your style, that your reconciliation is at the speed of light, it won't be a problem to them. And by that, you are equally training them that look, nothing lingers forever. Everything is just for a moment. Let me say this again. Some of the things we do is when crisis happen, we sustain our moods for as long as we want. When you do that, you're teaching your children not to forgive. You're teaching them the art of unforgiveness. So when people offend them, the only thing that comes to their minds as a default action is just to hold grudges. See, it's okay to have issues with your partner, but grudges become, keeping malice with each other is a problem. So to help them, have a reconciliation with what they are seeing and what is happening is just to keep concentrating on yourselves. So when these issues happen, you lock the door. That's the essence of the door. That's the essence of the door. We make use of the door. When we see that conflicts are almost becoming crisis, we lock the door. And then when we resolve, we open the door. And then they see these two people that pretended as if they were going to kill each other. Now look at them, they are out again. And both of you are eating together, smiling together, and doing things in common. So that's the only way you win their trust. There's nothing special you want to do. You don't need to take them out. You don't need to take them to the best place in the world. Have you not seen two strangers taking their children across the world? Two strangers living in the same house and still taking children out. These children can see, because emotions are feelings that we can see, even though they are not visible. Just like when you enter a house, I've said it before. If you enter a house where there is a dog and you're afraid, the dog will sense it and charge at you. But when you are confident and courageous, if you back at the dog, I don't care how fierce the dog is, the dog will have a rethink and then size you up again before taking any action. That's how emotions are. People feel it, animals feel it, everybody will see it. So you can't mask it. You don't need to do much. You don't need to do much to win their confidence and their trust again that you are good couples. You're not perfect couples. There are no perfect human beings or perfect situations. I don't know if I answered your question, Olori.
What is the long term effect? And are you not trying to say that parents should start faking peace, in front of their children just to gain their trust or make it look like all is well? Because there are some crises that even when you lock the door, the voices are there, they shout, and these kids will definitely hear. So what's the long term effect on the children as they grow? And then should parents now start faking peace and smiling? We are in good peace. Meanwhile, deep inside, a lot is happening.
Okay, at no point did I insinuate, infer, or say that parents should pretend. In fact, with my opening speech, I warned us about pretending about your conflicts. I said conflict is necessary in every relationship, including marital relationship. So don't make your children think that when they get married, it is heaven on earth. Yes, marriage is heaven on earth, but it has its own crisis. So I'm not asking you to mask your conflicts. All I'm saying is let them see it, but your conflicts must not become crisis. So that children would know, oh, okay, so when two people come together, they are from different backgrounds. It takes a while to fuse these two backgrounds together. So it's going to require some lots of cutting off some rough edges, fitting into. Like I told people, compatibility is not me meeting a perfect human being that we can work together. No, compatibility is two imperfect people coming together and asking themselves, not the other person. You ask yourself, what am I going to give up to become a fit for this person? So compatibility does not concentrate on the other person. It concentrates more on you. Okay, I like this person. What are the things I must give up for us to work together? That's why the Bible says, can two work together except they be agreed? So the agreement is first with me to say, I'm leaving this aside and I'm picking a new habit that will make this union to work. So you don't mask your challenges, but what you do is be intelligent in your conversation, which is one of the things I've said in the studio before, that when there is an issue between partners, can we pay attention to what is happening? That I did something stupid does not make me stupid. Now, in neuro-linguistic program, there's something we call generalization. He always does. So I'll ask you, are you saying that since I married you, I have never done anything sensible? You will not hear her say, no, that's not what I am saying. Now you can see that the element of always has been expunged without me fighting. But the thing is, we always want to defend ourselves and fight for our rights. He always does, and then I will go off my skin. How can you tell me I always does? Are you saying no? That's not the better response. You always, oh, you mean since we married, I've never done anything sensible? No, I did not say that. Oh, okay. So always limit the event or limit your comments and reactions to the current event, not generalizing to say you are stupid, you are that, and then mind the words you use in the presence of your kids when there is an issue. So that's the way you're setting them up for a good and happy marriage life. Telling them, look, there's a way to talk, there's a way not to talk, there's a way to react, there's a way not to react. So you're teaching them, you're modeling excellence in marriage to them. As regards this conversation right now, you're modeling excellence to them. So which is one of this we need to do, manage our emotions, and this is how I capture it. Say what you mean without being mean to the other person. Say what you mean without being mean to the other person. So that's exactly what I'm saying. When there is conflict, please, if it requires you talk about it in the presence of your children, for as long as you're going to respect one another, please go ahead, say it in their presence. Needless pretending and giving them false hope. So when you give them false hopes and they now marry and there's conflict, you see them now, hacking down their spouse. My father and my mother, they never had quarrel, they never fought. That's a lie. That's a lie. So let them see it. Let them see it. And I think I need to correct this impression before I end this slide. A lot of us treat children like they are not human beings. So we see them as two human beings in the house and one child. So is the child not a human being? So let's start seeing children more as human beings and less as the people we carried in our wombs, or probably as the man carried in my loins, then implanted him in somebody's womb, and she carried him or her for 9 months and all of that. No, children are beyond that. Children are humans who would also grow to do much more than you're doing. So let's treat them more as humans so that we make them grow peacefully, and then live a happy life. So that's what I was saying.
When children see some of these situations, they go into themselves. Some of them may be scared of their father or their mother. It depends on who they see as like. One is guilty and the other one is, especially the one that they are very close to. Now, how do we get this response? How do we see this mood in them to be able to correct those impression they have seen, the other side of their parents, which they have never, or they have never preempt, they can see them in before then? How do we see this mood? And how should parents come in to help them and reassure them? Just like you said when I asked on, when parents have decided to do one of two things and trust comes in. Like, wow, how do they rebuild that trust? You have answered that. But now, sometimes some kids will just go into maybe regression or repression. How do we help them? How do we see this mood, and what should parents do? The steps as we round up this discussion this morning.
Okay. There is nobody, whether a child or an adult, that likes a toxic environment. And toxicity happens in almost every environment where you have human beings. So when this insensitivity happens, and let me say this, that when children, become reclusive as a result of the fight between their parents, it means that it is no longer conflict, it is now crisis. That's the only reason why you see children, withdraw. And I've been harping on it that do not allow your conflicts to become crisis. Conflicts are necessary in your workspace. I'm sure both of you seated here now interviewing me must have had your conflicts. Conflicts happen everywhere in every human relationship and human endeavors. So when conflicts happen, what we avoid is crisis. And because both of you have been able to avoid crisis, is the reason why you have held down this program for this long. If not, one of you would have walked away one day. So as parents, when you resolve your conflicts, come out. See, vulnerability is not a sign of weakness. That you tell your child that your mom and I had a disagreement, like I explained earlier. Let the child understand the perspective that the only disagreement here now is we are not taking time to explain our perspectives to each other, and that's why we were having that conflict. So let the child understand. So when you carry them along, you're helping them build their own resilience and understanding about how to manage conflicts. That, so when I marry, I must learn to be explicit and very precise with my requests, and also make the reasons plain for my partner to know. So that's what you do. When these things happen, they see the conflict, call them. And it would be nice if both of you can call them, talk over it while you're having dinner. Oh, your mommy and I had an issue in the morning, and I'm sure you're aware. Well, it was as a result of this. For as long as it is not something that is embarrassing. So once one of you is not caught in adultery, and you're not caught in probably office cars, scam and all of that. If it is something that is honorable, that it can be heard among people, talk about it. You're helping them grow into responsible adults. Like I said, marriage is not a happy home because there are no crises. No, it is actually a happy home because the two people involved have become matured in handling their conflicts. So let's not give children false hope that there is something called a happy home where there are no crises. You see this statement, my wife and I have never fought. It's a lie that we must not transfer to children. You would always have issues, but let them understand that we leave it at the realm of conflict, not crisis. Finally, can we manage our children properly and stop making them want to run away from home. Everything Samson wanted to do was just that he wanted to run away from home. I have two cases I'm handling at the moment, and both of them got married basically because they just wanted to leave home, not because they were ready to, get married at the time. So don't make your home a place that is chasing your children. Let your children live because it is necessary to live, not because it is mandatory to live. No, let them live because it is necessary to live, not because it is mandatory to live. And when something is mandated, you will do virtually everything to get it done. So your children must not be too eager to leave your home. And like I said earlier, I'm repeating it again. Too many times, we are only conscious of what we are running from. Hardly do we know what we are running into.
You know what we're running into.
Joy,
wow. Thank you so much. Thank you. In all of these, I think parents out there have learned where to draw the line between conflict and crisis. That's just it. So they know how to discuss their conflict and keep it and not let it get to crisis. That's what I have gotten from all of this. Thank you so much for always doing justice to our topic. I am Princess Joy Ayo Abu. Thank you for being a part of the show this morning. I'll see you tomorrow. Stay blessed.
Okay, Remy, thank you so much. Don't forget to send the address of your office address to me, and we'll send your own item 7 breakfast to you this morning. That's a promise. And on that note, I want to say a big thank you to everyone who has joined us this morning. And tomorrow is going to be another wonderful package. We're looking at failure in parenting structure. Failures or failure in parenting structures. What are those structures? How does failure has anything to do with it? We'll be talking about that tomorrow. And I hope you'll love to really be part of this, because it's all about our children, the future generations, that we are all looking well for our children, because by that time we would have been old, and we expect that our children will be doing well in whatever endeavor. We have been able to train them and give them a better understanding and become the trophy children that we have raised. So we love you. We expect the best from you. That is what my charge is as we round off this morning. A big thank you to item 7 for our breakfast. Thank you to our supervising producer, Mr. Teslim Ajayi, and all our crew. Thank you so much, from the cameraman to every other department who has made today's production a success. At station, thank you, Mr. Sulaiman. God bless you. So on that note, we hope to see you tomorrow. Have a splendid day and be good to yourself. Be good to yourself. I still remain Olori. See you tomorrow.